Welcome everyone to Neighborhoods Up. I'm your host, Crystal Watson. The show, Neighborhoods Up, is part of Mayor Albie's initiative to focus on resources that will help improve the quality of life for our residents. Mayor Albie feels it is important that neighbors, churches, businesses, and the unified government all work together for the good of everyone residing in Wyandotte County. On this episode of Neighborhoods Up, I am excited to talk about the new fire station that is currently under construction in Piper. This new firehouse will soon be station number 12, located at 2913 Hutton Road. The groundbreaking for this development took place in April, and the unified government is hoping that the new addition will continue to bring a sense of safety to the surrounding community. Throughout this show, we will be talking to some very important people who have been working to make this development happen. That's next on Neighborhoods Up. Station number 12 will help improve coverage and reduce response time for residents living in Piper, and is part of Mayor David Albie's initiative to addressing the much needed health issues of Wyandotte County. Joining me now to talk about the impact this station will bring to the Piper community is Mr. Bernie Smith. Welcome, Bernie.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Well, we're so glad to have you on our Neighborhoods Up show. So tell us a little bit about Bernie Smith.
Well, I've been a resident of Kansas City, Kansas all my life, all 62 glorious years.
So you are a Dot?
I am a Dot born and raised.
Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And in 1988, my wife and I decided to move out to Piper. We saved and we had a dream to get in a new house. And at the time, we went into Prairie Country, which is on 110th and Roland, which is still there right behind the Walmart.
Yes.
And we stayed there till my son graduated school and Piper High School. And then we decided to go get some land here in Piper. So we lived just down off 115th, got some acreage. That keeps my wife busy mowing.
Yeah.
And so we've had no regrets whatsoever.
Well, so a lot's changed since you were first here.
A lot's changed since I've been here.
So what have you seen change? More than just the housing, what have you seen change in the area?
Well, there's no doubt the traffic's changed.
Yeah.
Just this building behind us, there's a field back here, and when we first brought my son out here, and he was in 4th grade, 3rd grade, we had a carnival out here, and we had dog and pony shows, we had dirt bike races, we had four-wheeler races.
Wow. Completely
different than what you're seeing now. So we used to go to Kay's Corner and have a little breakfast and sometimes some lunch, and that was about where you went, Kay's Corner.
And of course, we now have the Legends.
We do have the
and
Legends.
And the Speedway,
Perfect.
Right? We've got the casino, so we've got a lot going on. And that is pretty much shared, I think, with Edwardsville and Bonner, and
correct.
Kind of crosses all our different counties or areas within Wyandotte County.
Right.
So we've got a new fire station coming.
We do.
Tell me what you think.
Well, I think it's a little bit past due. I'm very excited about it.
Good.
I think the community in Piper, we have a lot of new rooftops. And we do know that the fire station here is, it's been here a little bit. And I think the expectations for the Piper residents is very high.
Okay.
And I think that the men and women of our Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department are doing a marvelous job.
Yeah.
But with expectations, you got to give them the proper training, the proper tools, and the proper facility. And from what I understand, the facility is going to be a state-of-the-art, which we need.
Yes.
All their response times comes down to seconds, minutes. And if they get the proper information, I think they're going to continue to do a great job.
So I would assume that all of the residents in this area are very happy to hear about the new fire station, right?
I would not know why they wouldn't be.
Okay, good.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. So we're excited for the Piper residents here, and I know that, like you said, it's going to be a new state-of-the-art facility.
Right.
There'll be a lot of changes with that, and so I know our fire department is excited.
Yes.
We're going to be talking to the chief, but I am really happy for the residents in Piper. You're right, it's well overdue.
Well overdue, I think.
And I know you guys have had a strong advocate, Commissioner Mike Kane.
Mike Kane, I do know him, Commissioner Kane, on many occasions, many years ago. I don't know the time length, but I would guess 8-10 years he has been going after this fire station. So congratulations that he finally broke some ground.
So you've lived here all your life. So tell me, what makes Wyandotte County so special?
The people, plain and simple. It's down home. People, I can go down on 5th Street and have a good time. I can go to 7 Highway, have a good time. The people in the community are very down home, hard-working, blue-collar, and it just makes your day. Can't go into the Walmart, you can't go to the Legends without saying hi.
Isn't that the truth?
My wife doesn't take me into the grocery store anymore because we always stop and have to say hello. But
I have the same problem.
I know, but that's what makes it good. It's good. My son graduated in '99, in class of '99. It's amazing how many of those people are still tight-knit. It's a very tight-knit community.
We are.
So that's how I feel.
Well, and I would agree with you. I think the people are what makes Wyandotte County so special. And when we see our communities and our neighborhoods progressing, and when we see a new facility like the new fire station coming into town, it's just a testament of the hard work and the dedication that the people in this community are so faithful to.
Faithful, that's the term.
You know, and I know Kane is very faithful to it, and I know Mayor Alvey is also very faithful to it.
Very proud to have him as a mayor.
Well, Bernie, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. I know you got a full-time gig at Hendrick Automotive Group. Big shout out to Hendrick.
Thank you very much.
But we appreciate you and all your hard work, and more importantly, just being the special resident that you are in Wyandotte County.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Again, we want to thank Bernie for sharing his thoughts on this new development taking place in your neighborhood, Piper. There are so many great things happening here in KCK, and it was so wonderful to hear your thoughts and your perspective on our new fire station coming to right here in Piper. The KCK Fire Department offers many informative programs to the residents of KCK, such as smoke detector installation, detector battery changing, and fire prevention training with students and families. Each station in KCK is considered as a safe place for children and a safe haven for abandoned newborns. Next, I'm going to chat with Michael Callahan, the chief of the Kansas City, Kansas Fire Department. He's going to give us insight to the new fire station development and how he feels the station will benefit the residents in Piper. Hello, Chief Callahan.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. This is probably one of the most exciting interviews because I've seen you afar. I remember when you interviewed and you came on board almost a year ago.
Correct.
And so I'm super excited, and I have watched you from afar. You didn't know I was watching you.
And now you're watching me from close.
Yes, I'm up close and personal, and so glad to have you. How's it been your first year?
It's been great. I love it here. I love the department. I have a great group of people to work with, which is 95% of the battle when you go to a new place. I got a great group of people here, so that's been very helpful.
So we assume that we know what a chief of the fire department does, but will you just tell us a little bit about what your duties are?
So the fire department, like most fire departments in the country, is set up on a paramilitary organizational scale. So I'm like the top, and then I have a first deputy chief underneath me. I run the overall strategic operations, and the first deputy chief runs the day-to-day operations. But beneath the chief are 2 deputy fire chiefs that are in charge of a specific corps, CORPS corps, and then underneath them are divisions that are headed by assistant chiefs. So each one of those is responsible. There's EMS, there's suppression and rescue, there's technical rescue, there's support and logistics, there's fire prevention, there's arson investigation. So all of those are folded into the overall job description of the fire department here.
So about how many fire stations do we have?
So right now, we have 19 fire stations, and we've projected out several years out how we're going to renovate and rehab and build new fire stations in the Kansas City, Kansas area.
So our newest one coming is in the Piper area.
That is correct.
So tell us a little bit about this. I know we've talked to several others, but talk to us.
So the station, I can't take any credit for this station. It was well developed, the planning prior to my arrival. I'm just kind of shepherding the final steps in the process along. The reason it was put where it was put is there was a hole in the response coverage area in the northwest section because of new rooftops going up and population increases in that area. So it was determined that there was a need for an additional fire station out there to provide better fire protection and emergency medical services for that particular community.
Well, I know the biggest advocate for the station out there has been Commissioner Mike King.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And I just appreciate him so much because he never gave up on this, right? No matter, I know this has been in the years making, I'm not sure how many years, but I know he's been working on it for quite a long time.
Right. He's been a very strong proponent, and he's worked tirelessly to get this station built. He deserves a lot of credit for it.
He does.
And there's been some frustration involved in terms of the timing of the build, but as you go by there now, you can see there's actual construction going on for the new fire station.
And I know that he's been very dedicated to the folks in the Piper area, of course, all of his district. But this has got to be great for the residents. We got a chance to talk to a resident, but can you tell us a little bit about how well this has been received by the area?
Well, it's very well received, obviously. Anytime you put a new fire station anywhere, it's usually a welcome sight. I've never known it not to be, but particularly out there's a lot of firefighters and police officers that live out in that direction. So for them to have a feeling of their families being protected while they're in service at fire stations and police stations, protecting the rest of the community is a comforting feeling for them.
I know I would feel comforted. I know there's a fire station near my home, not even 5 minutes away. So they deserve to have this, and I'm really excited for Piper to finally have their own station.
Right, and like I said, Commissioner Kane, and you've mentioned it as well, has been a very strong proponent of this fire station. He's worked tirelessly. He's listened to the community and heard what their needs and wants are, and he acted on it.
So can you tell us a little bit about what's going to be really on the inside? I know it's supposed to be state of the art, but what specifically?
So right now in the fire service, there's a big cancer prevention initiative that's industry-wide across the whole country. A lot of cancers that firefighters are being diagnosed with are being attributed to their job activities. And so to kind of alleviate that a little bit, fire stations are now being constructed with different things that will help us lessen the chance that a firefighter will get cancer. So some of the things we're talking about are washers and dryers. They're called extractors. They put their gear in it that they wear to the fire in the washer and dryer. It removes the contaminants that are left on the gear, so that reduces their exposure. Also, we have negative pressure where the bunker gear is stored, so that the air isn't going into the rest of the firehouse. And there's a separation from the bay area where the rigs are parked and where the bunker gear is stored from the living area. So that's all being done with hopes of reducing cancer in the fire service.
That is amazing. It's too bad all of our stations couldn't be equipped with that kind of preventative.
We're equipping them with extracting washers and dryers no matter what the age of the station. We've bought a second set of bunker gear for all of the firefighters so that when they go to a fire with their first set, they have the opportunity to come back and clean that set and dry it while they have a fresh set ready to go in the event they have to respond to a fire before their first set is washed and dried.
That's great. That is absolutely great. Well, you guys have got a lot. Are there any other things going on that?
Well, there's always something going on. There's always something going on. So in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, we developed a plan here in the fire department with some of my team members in terms of our future needs and with fire station development and fire station renovation and rehab. So that's an ongoing program that goes out about 20 years. So it's exciting to see it done, because many of the fire stations that are currently in Kansas City, Kansas, were at one time township stations. They were volunteer fire stations and never meant to house people on a 24-hour basis as a paid professional fire department. So it's important that when you come to work, you have an ability to be comfortable where you're working, and that's one of our primary concerns.
Well, if our firemen are not healthy and safe,
Right.
then how can we expect to be?
That's right. We have to make sure that they're safe, they're warm, they're dry, and to the degree that we can prevent any contaminants from being around their living space.
Well, Chief Callahan, you have been a wonderful addition to our community,
Thank you.
a wonderful addition to the fire department as a whole. I personally want to thank you for being here. We want to thank you for having us here on the show.
Sure.
Is there anything you want to say to our audience, or anything you'd like
Just that I'm very happy to be here. My wife is here. She retired as a Chicago police officer. She moved down in October, so we're both here now. I was by myself for a couple of months. I didn't like it, but now I'm happy that she's here. We're building a new house out that way, as a matter of fact, in Piper. It won't be done for about 10 months, but we're excited.
Well, we again are excited. Excitement going on in Piper.
Right.
And this is a great thing for our community. We want to thank him again for all that he's doing with the fire department and for the residents here at Wyandotte County. We greatly appreciate the hard work that you have put into our community and the investment that you have personally made. Give our blessed, wonderful thanks to your wife as well.
I will.
All right, well, you've heard it here on Neighborhoods Up. We thank all of the firemen who constantly put their lives on the line for everyone who resides here in Wyandotte County. Lastly, we're going to talk with John Kelly, the Director of Facilities for the Unified Government, who has helped in the process of getting the new station underway. He has contributed a great deal, and we want to get his take on all that is needed to make this project a success. Hello, John.
Good morning, how are you?
So glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, so John, tell me, let our viewers know, what exactly do you do as Director of Facilities?
Well, Director of Facilities, I've been with this organization now for 26 years. Within the past couple of years, I've moved into the role as Director. And as role as Director for the Unified Government of Buildings and Logistics is to maintain and carry out new construction and remodeling of all UG facilities throughout our county.
So, I know this is kind of off the cuff, but about how many buildings do we have?
Currently, last time we were close to about 100 and growing, because we're getting new facilities as the new fire station, the new juvenile center. In the last couple of years, we did the Cerner UG Health Clinic. So we're starting to add to our assets, but yeah, we're 100, and that's anywhere from parks facilities, water pollution facilities, and then our downtown campus. So we have a majority of buildings from police substations and of course several other fire stations as well.
And that's about how many employees in your area?
Oh, in my area, we're around 80 people within the buildings and logistics staff.
That is awesome.
Yes.
And just so that our audience knows that the facilities crew is just phenomenal. I've had an opportunity to work with your staff, and they are just the best.
I do have a very good team, and like I said, everybody comes to work every day, and I stated to you guys earlier, every day something's different. Outside maintaining our structures and buildings, we have a lot of involvement with interactions of different things throughout the county. So, like I said, I really do have a good staff and a good team.
You do, and you're a great leader.
Yep,
so now, the fire station.
Okay.
Tell us, what do you know about well, let me put it this way. What is your role with the fire station?
My role with the fire station early on was to make sure that I sat with both the fire chief and deputy chief and some of their key team members within the fire department to ensure that with getting an architect on board and then selecting a CMR to make sure that we had a group and a committee together to design a fire station that we could use that design for the future for more fire stations to come. So my role has been to make sure that we have a good foundation to start with and to make sure that we get a good durable building for years to come.
All right. So with that said, we know the fire station's coming.
Yes.
Right? And I know we've talked to some of the residents, and they're pretty excited about it.
Yes.
We'll have a conversation with the fire chief as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when or how do you expect this will help improve the community?
Well, first off, I think not only that particular fire station 12, is going to be the station it is. I think given the area where it was needed in the western Wyandotte Piper area, it's been one that they really needed in that area. So I think it's a great asset to be able to have that station and in that location. And then as well as, it's been almost 20 years, close to 20 years since we've built a fire station. So a lot of things have evolved over the years to what that looks like for the safety, health and safety of those firefighters coming back from these fires. So this facility is going to be able to ensure their safety and health coming back from fighting fires, to ensure that carcinogens moving from the dorm area to the apparatus floor. So there's some systems that are in place and technologies to keep those firefighters safe going back home.
So I know this will be new and it'll be state of the art. Would you say that this would be part of the exciting part of this development? I know you've done a lot, you participate in a lot of developments.
Yes.
What's special about this one?
To me, what is special is that we allowed the fire department across the board, their team, from the the firefighters that are out fighting the fire, and middle management, upper management, to be able to partake in this design. We went through the process of going out selecting an architect, and as I said, getting a CMR on board, and it was able to get everybody in the room to talk about what this looks like, talk about all the new safety features that are out there. And like I said, for I think it was maybe 2001, which when our last fire station was built. So that's some time ago. So I think we're super excited about getting this model of this particular fire station done, so we can, I think in 2021 we plan on moving forward to building another fire station. So we're really hoping that we have success with this one to move forward with making sure we have a model, so we can, when you're driving through your neighborhoods and different communities, that you're able to see, hey, there's KCK's fire station. So a lot of our other facilities of our fire stations kind of have different looks, so we're trying to brand ourselves in with what we look like for our fire department.
And just so our audience knows, a CMR is?
CMR is basically a construction manager at risk, and the idea behind that is to ensure that when we get our architect on board, that the CMR, the construction manager at risk, work together as a team with us as an organization to make sure they're in at the early stages to try to ensure that we get, so to speak, the best bang for our buck, and that they're there helping us through that design process, so they know they're working with us to, within our budget to make sure that we can, get what we're looking to get built.
So what's on the horizon? What are some new projects coming up?
Well, some new projects that I'm excited about is the Merck grocery store is one of them here in the downtown.
Yes.
So I think we're super excited. I actually live here in the downtown area, so I'm excited to I'm excited to see some development take place out here. And I also think that out in western Wyandotte County, we have our Walcott treatment plant center that is also that's a UG project that we're working on. And private sector, we got the American Royal. So I think there's several projects that are going on throughout our county that I'm just super excited about. It shows that our growth is happening here, and we just want to continue. And then, like I said, as long as we're able to get in and touch our UG structures as needed, that's another great thing. So this fire station, our new juvenile center that we're under construction underway, is another one. So I think we're starting to see a trend of us going in, looking at some of our facilities and being able to update those, or do some type of remodeling to the facilities that will just grow in time. Like I said, support our community.
Well, you guys have heard it here on Neighborhoods Up. John Kelly, Director of Facilities for Unified Government. I think we're in good hands with you at the helm. I'm excited about all the different things you talked about in terms of the new development that's coming, that Unified Government is going to make sure that our residents have access to services that is greatly needed. So thank you so much for being here
Well, thank you, Crystal. It's been a pleasure.
You are again doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all that he is doing in his work. We understand his role is very important, and his role also fits into this new project. So we're excited, and we're so glad to have John Kelly and all of the staff in the facilities department. Now, as we wrap up the show, let's hear a final word from Mayor David Alvey.
Today, I'm standing in front of the site of the new fire station to serve the Piper community of Kansas City, Kansas. The Piper community has a long and proud history as an agricultural community, and that tradition continues to this day. But more and more, Piper is becoming a center for residential growth, for shopping, and for entertainment. This fire station will enable our firefighters to reach out to this community with even greater responsiveness. So many of the fire stations across our neighborhoods must be either replaced or upgraded so that our fire department, our firefighters, our EMTs can continue to fulfill their mission to protect our residents and businesses. As a city, we must commit to a prudent, strategic plan for upgrading our fire stations, and that commitment will require us to find and expend the necessary financial resources to make it happen. The first responsibility of our city is to help secure the safety of our residents. This fire station for Piper will enable us to meet that obligation in this community. Thank you for joining me today.
Remember, from our neighborhoods up, we will empower, engage, and give guidance towards building a fiscally resilient future. Thank you for watching Neighborhoods Up. See you next time.